Right, okay, here we are back again. I think we're going to do another of the Lunchtime Electronics series. Yeah, why not? This little kit looks like the sound to light activating kit, and I was planning on building up a Bluetooth speaker because my daughter works in a large audio and domestic appliance retailers locally, and at Christmas time they had these wonderfully large, huge sound to light speaker things, Bluetooth speakers with flashing lights, and they cost about 200 quid. And I thought, yeah, very nice, but what on earth? Why would you want to do that? And so I decided, right, okay, well, I'll build her one, and I'll do it a lot cheaper. It won't cost me 150, 160 quid, I think it was, for the 50 watt version. I have got a Bluetooth audio amp board, which is rechargeable. I put a battery on it. It's USB connectivity, but it also has the buttons for linking and what do they call it? Not linking, pairing, and volume control on it. So yeah, I've got that part. I've got the two speakers. I've got a box. So all that's left is sound to light, I think. And if I turn this little piece of paper around in the kit, I couldn't draw it myself any simpler. What you have is you've got your power supply here. The capacitor, the electrolytic there, is just across the supply line between 3 to 5 volts. So that one will be plus. Yeah, this will be. So imagine this is plus and this is minus. So connector 2 would be plus. Polarized capacitor, then you have a resistor to put some power onto the little mic insert. Now you've got another polarized capacitor here. AC can pass that, but DC can't, so that will act as a DC blocking capacitor. You've got a 1 meg resistor here on the base of this transistor, so when that would just be holding that ready off, so that would come through. So as the audio comes through, it modulates the transistor, allowing a current to flow down and through the transistor, but while the current is flowing, it will then run through. Yeah, so basically the more this one turns on, the greater the number of LEDs turn on, I think. I think that's how it's going to work. Let's just build it and see. I can't be bothered to work it out. It is 20 past 2 in the morning, and the soldering iron's hot, and I'm raring to go, as they say. But I'm not allowed to because the wife's asleep, so I shall stay down here and do some electronics instead. Right, rubbish in the bin. Something LED. What I might do is I think I might show off, actually. Let's have a go. Come on. I am beginning to hate this phone with a passion. It really is. It's meant to be top of the range, but it just winds me up. It really does. Right, so camera. So if I align, where's the camera? Align the text. LED. The voice LED kit. So there you go. That's Google Translate, by the way. It works on most Android devices. I wonder if they're breaching the copyright of the whole A small work. Where's it finding that from? It's finding all sorts of things just by looking at the grid and the scratch marks on my mat. Now, you could have some fun with this application, couldn't you? So anyway, yeah. So it's called the Voice LED Kit. So let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of this. I've got to say, as I say, I'm I hate this phone. It's yeah, it's a Samsung S7 Edge, and I wish I'd got the HTC One M10. It's just, you know, I wish I hadn't upgraded to that one. So there we go. Anyway, so what have we got? We've got a microphone element. We have the connector. We've got the couple of resistors. 3 resistors actually. The 2 transistors. What are the transistors? 2SC or 9014 S9014s, just general purpose. To be quite honest, anything would do. You know, so we've got 10K, 4K7 and a 1 meg. So let's just have a look. That's the trouble when you get old, you can't even see the colour bands on resistors. So that's the there's the 4.7. These blue ones, I really don't like the background on them because you can't actually read some of the colour bands because they make these things so cheap that and the printing is sometimes a bit suspect. I could really measure them out, but I'm not going to. That's just like too much like hard work. See if I can read that. 100, so that's 100 with 2 more zeros, which makes it 10,000, which makes that one the 10K, which will go in there. That microphone element really does want to run away. Get in there. See, I'm not actually soldered anything yet, we're just poking them through, which by deduction means that this will be the 1 meg one, which 100 with 4 zeros, 4 zeros because it's yellow, so 100 with another 4 on the end of it. Yeah, that's about right, because normally you've got 3 bands and it's 5 zeros. So right, okay, so 3 resistors, solder, put the finger in the middle, solder, again with, you know, these Chinese kits, I couldn't build it and get the components together in the UK for the price I paid for the whole kit. So you know, if you're just looking for a couple of general purpose transistors, then buy the kit. It's cheaper than buying a couple of transistors in some cases, unless you're buying a lot of stuff. Right, so yeah, that's it. They're all sitting flat. So cutters. I still haven't changed the cutters, by the way. I said I was going to in a couple of videos back, but I'm not going to bother yet. They still work. Transistor. As you see, you know, there's no need to be at all delicate with this. It's such a basic circuit. Put it the right way round though, otherwise it really won't work. Again, just following the screen printing. Just there we go. The only thing about soldering transistors is not a lot of heat for too long. Mind you, it's the same with pretty much every component. They tend not to like it. Let's just go down there, clean the end of that off. That's what happens when you don't use helping hands or anything like that. You tend to follow things across the table. My last one. So yeah, not that I'm rushing, but you know, I'm going to try and make some videos that have actually been, you know, shorter than 20 minutes. see how good I am. You know, I don't know whether the the longer videos, although they explain things. Well, they don't even explain things, do they? They're just me rambling on. So there's markings under there, so the mic element goes in that way round. It doesn't quite sit in the hole, because as you see there's 3 marks on the bottom and they should correspond to that. If you put it in the wrong way round, it bashes into the transistor. So yeah, let's just wedge it in there. Doesn't matter, does it? It's only less than £1. If it doesn't work, you can throw it in the bin. It cost me more than that for 5 LEDs from Maplin's. So capacitors, long ones are positive. They've actually marked them this time on here. 1 microfarad, yeah. 47 microfarad, yeah. And there we go. Long one, short one. Boom, 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 boom. Let's do it so it's facing me, so then I'm not chasing it across the bench. Can we get off of there? Let's clip those off. Right, LEDs. Test them, don't test them. I don't even know what colour they are. Let's have a look. Blue. Are they all blue? Well, I know that one works. Plus. I think they're all the same. Yeah, go on, I'd test them all while we're here, yeah. Make sure they all work. I keep pushing that. That's a foot off a piece of equipment. It's a stick-on rubber foot, and I put it there because it'd come off something and I can't remember what, and I keep going to push it. Maybe I should have stuck it on the red button. Right, okay, so yeah, they're not sitting quite flat, but then this isn't an experiment in neatness, I don't think. I could do the one leg at a time bit. Oh, that was a bit of a blob there. Okay, so let's do that. Let's take the bridge out from the middle. Get them both. Yeah. Yeah. There we are. I either talk too much or I don't say anything. There's no happy medium. I suppose the talking too much. I used to do hospital radio many years ago with a very dear friend of mine who's sadly passed away far too young. He was only sort of, I think he was just a bit younger than me, but yeah, at 50 years old it's a little bit too soon for him to go. And you know, we did this hospital radio show and I never had any problems with dead air. In fact, we used to run out of time quite a bit, because I'd waffle on and he'd waffle on and we'd all waffle on and everybody would be happy. Yeah, that looks good. So, snip, 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 snip. Okay, let's plug that JST connector in there, plus and minus. I mean, it does actually say plus and minus, but not that it really matters now. Yeah, I could use a bit of tape, but let's do things cack-handedly. That's it. Let's partly tacked on, so we'll just solder that leg in, make sure it dries before we or sets before we try and solder the other one. Right, so that's the kit done. What I will do is on the end of those leads, let's move that out the way. I'll just rub a bit of solder just so that the crocodile leads have got something to grip to. And of course, when you want it to go and make a blob, there you go, that'll do. It doesn't, so you just bodge it like that. JST connect in. Right, okay, so what do we have here? So this side is plus, so this side is plus 3 to 5 volts. Let's just turn the bench supply down to 4 volts, because that's halfway between 3 to 5. And find the crocodile clips on the end of the wire. And there we go. Right, okay, so what do we say? Plus was there, minus was there. So minus, plus, and now let's turn the current on. One, two, three. It's not very sensitive, is it? So, I'm going to turn those lights down. And if I move those away so they're not actually pointing at it, yeah, you're going to need a fair bit of noise to, and they all trigger at the same time. Yeah, then it's not graduated, otherwise it'd be more like the VU meter circuit, wouldn't it? So there we go. Thanks very much for watching me build some cheap Chinese junk, throwing it together. Yeah, it works. What else can you say? Thanks very much. Bye bye.